As the stone door grinds open and your torch flickers, you enter a silent chamber. At your feet, a 4x4 mosaic composed of 16 weathered tiles. Behind it lies a trench filled with 9 skulls, and beyond, a carved stele waiting to be deciphered. 9 poor souls their demise met, their skulls shall lay where truth is set. 4 of 9 where starlight shine, the truth lies where numbers align. In today's video, I will show you how to build the famous 4x4 puzzle from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And I even added a secret stash to reward your players. So make sure to stay until the end if you want to know the solution to this puzzle. As you can see, this build will be really cheap and you will not need a lot of materials to do it. As a basis, you will need a rectangular piece of XPS foam, any leftover will do the trick, and you will also need those skulls by Citadel. They are really good and for the numbers you get, they are really cheap. The first step of this build will be simply to take a pen and to draw a square of 8 by 8 cm on the foam. And then you will draw lines every 2 cm within the square. While I'm doing this, I just want to clarify that I'm not sponsored by Games Workshop, Citadel or Wizard of the Coast, but if they want to sponsor my next videos, they should not hesitate to reach out. Here, it's really important to draw the outside of the square, but don't draw any line within the square for the moment. When you are ready, you will take some aluminium paper, you will roll it into a ball, and you will use it in order to texturize the foam. Make sure to roll it everywhere, and you can also hammer it if you want. And also don't forget the sides. For the next step, you will take a hobby knife and you will trace every square in the square. Go gently and take your time, and also make sure to not cut yourself. And when you are done, this should be the result. For the next step, you will take again your pen and you will go through all the lines that you just traced. With a pencil, you will only do the outside of the square for the moment, and you will see it already improves the looks of the tile. For the next step, you will do exactly the same thing, but this time for the inner lines, and you will be using either a smaller pencil or a ball pen. Here, you can clearly see the differences before and after. And if you want all the tiles to be really detached, you can keep using the big pencil from the beginning. For the next step, we'll draw the Roman numbers above and on one side of the square. The principle is exactly the same as the previous step. We'll first start with a hobby knife and then we'll go through with a pen or a pencil. And when you are done, this should be the result. For your ease, here you have an exact picture of the puzzle from the book. When this is done, we'll continue to texturize the basis. For this, we'll cut and remove some parts from the basis of the foam. Don't forget to remove the excess part of the basis, and of course, you can draw any shape that you want. And now, we'll make the trench for the skulls. For this, it's super easy. You will take the aluminium paper ball and you will press it super strongly against the foam. And when you are done, don't forget to check that all the skulls stay in place in the trench. For the next step, we'll cut the stele in the leftover pieces. Again, you can cut the shape that you want, on my side I will draw a trapeze. And as usual, each time you do a new cut, don't forget to texturize it with the aluminum paper. For the engraving, we'll use the same technique. First, we'll go with a hobby knife, and then we'll go in with a pencil. And when you are done, this should be the result. And now we'll prepare the secret stash. For this, you will simply take an ice cream stick and you will cut it a bit smaller than the size of the stele. And before gluing it to the stele, you will press it against the big basis in order to trace where it will stand. And then you will simply carve out the shape. Again, take your time and don't go too quickly in order to not cut yourself. And when you are done, take any object that you can in order to smooth it out the stash. And finally, it's time to glue the ice cream stick to the stele. For the next step, we'll need to carve out some stars on some specific tiles. For this, I'm using a pyrographer with a specific tip, but it's really not mandatory. You can use the same technique that we learned, using first a hobby knife and then going through with a pencil. And if you are using a pyrographer like I do, please make sure to put it as low temperature as possible. Here it was really too hot and I had to go back on a lower temperature. And with this, our basis is fully done. We just have to paint everything now. For the paint job, it will be quite easy. We'll first start with 2 coats of grey. This is the result after the first coat. And while it's drying, we'll prepare the skulls. You will simply need 2 base colors and 1 wash. As usual, we'll start with 2 coats of a basis color. Here, it will be some Morghast bone. Here, you have the result after the first coat. And here, after the second coat. If you like this video so far, it's the perfect time to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see more videos in the future about puzzles for your D&D games, don't hesitate to like this one and to let me know in the comments. And here, you have the second coat of basis color for the stoneworks. And again, while it's drying, we'll continue the skulls. For this, we'll use the drybrushing technique. It means that we'll remove most of the paint on a paper towel, and then, with a flat brush, we'll only aim for the highlight of the skulls. Here, the idea is to not put back any paint in the recesses of the figurine. And finally, in order to smooth all the colors together, we'll apply some shade. Here, I'm using some Agrax Earth Shade, but you can also do it yourself by mixing some water with some brown paint and a dip of soap. And here you have the final result on the right compared to the previous step on the left. And when you are done, this should be the result. And finally, we'll apply the dry brushing technique on the basis. And if you want to see a more detailed video about this technique, you will find a link in the corner of this video. Here you have the result after one layer of dry brush, and here after a second layer, and finally after a third layer of dry brush. And now it's finally time to consult the solution of this puzzle. The solution is to place all the 9 skulls on the grid, following some specific rules for the columns and the rows. Following the riddles, 4 of them needs to be placed on tiles with a star, and each Roman number indicates the number of skulls that should be placed in its line. So either 1, 2 or 3. If you made it this far, thank you very much for your support. Don't hesitate to subscribe, comment and like, and see you next time!